right. All righty. You are looking live at sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. The Eagles have always sucked. The Eagles lost the Super Bowl because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles will always suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. I love saying the Philadelphia Eagles suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if I see something get thrown in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, sometimes instead of just like going on and on and on and just talking for like, whatever, half an hour, it's nice to talk to somebody else every now and then. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. The top link in the description box. And he takes you to my membership page, okay? I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them, okay? So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I would thank you so much in advance. Now, if anybody is, if you are subscribed to my channel, I greatly thank you so much. Thank you. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, I greatly appreciate it. I can use all the support I can get. Thank you. And then finally, okay, also in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links, okay? The top Facebook links to Facebook link takes you to my Facebook. It's a group, okay? It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. What do we got? We have over 2,900 members in the group, okay? We're getting close to 3,000 members. It's, I put stuff in there every day, 7 days a week. I try to get if I can, up to 10 different things in there. Sometimes in the off season, it's a little difficult to get a lot of, juicy, stuff. But I whether it's a picture, a post, a video, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, where I try to get stuff in there every day. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members as well put stuff in the group. All right. So, if you go there, to the group, it's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. There's a ton of stuff that goes in there every day. Then in the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my Facebook, but it's a page, okay? Once again, it's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron, but it's a page. Now, I keep saying this all my videos. It pretty much all called the same thing. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page is all called basically like the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way I said even a moron like me, I can remember. I don't know what's my YouTube channel called, what's my Facebook group, it's all called the same thing, okay? But this is a page. All right. It's called New York Giants. And we just got 1,000 likes, and we got 4.1 thousand followers. We were like 3.9 like about 2 days ago. So we jumped up big time last couple of days as far as followers. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But there's a ton of stuff goes in here too every day. All right. But, it's the same thing. It's just, 7 days a week. I put stuff in there all the time. And I don't really commingle with stuff, right? Pretty much like whatever I put in the page, I don't put on the group. And whatever I put in the group, and I don't put in the page. So it's all different stuff, right? So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and become a member, between the two, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And like I say in every video, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done. Now, where can the Giants go, all right, in the draft? Because I would be a little shocked if they don't take a running back. when there's a good class, okay, you know, I mean, really, I mean, any position, really. I mean, if it's a real good class, like say even a tackle class, right? I mean, you got Neal, right, and you got Andrew Thomas. You could use some good depth. It's if there's a good quality class. I mean, meaning where it might be like, I'm just throwing a number out there, 20 really decent tackles, even the guys in the 5th and 6th round who can, not Hall of Famers or nothing like that, all pros, but guys who can come in and step in and do a decent job, some good quality depth. You got to take advantage of that. And it's like the cornerback class. They have to take a cornerback in this class. It's a good, solid class. Plus the Giants, if they don't want to resign Adoree Jackson, who the cornerback's going to be, right? So they have to take a cornerback in this class early, and if they double dip, wouldn't surprise me at all. But I mean, it's the same thing here with the running back class. All right, good running back class. Okay, so the Giants they're going to take a running back. Okay, I mean we got like Sandro Platzkummer is no longer with the team. All right, so we got Jashawn Corbin. Okay. Now, the thing is with him, he was pretty much on the practice squad like all last year. You got to start looking at, sometimes why are they on the practice squad? And if they're on the practice squad, why didn't another team scoop in and pluck them up from the practice squad, right? Because there's injuries. Maybe that was one of the areas the Giants really lucked out last year. They didn't have any injuries really to the running back. I mean, Saquon had his shoulder, but they had Breida there. You had Brightwell, right? So you always had guys backing up. It wasn't like Barkley had his shoulder and Breida tore out his ACL and Brightwell was, ripped his Achilles, and so we had to bring in other, No, I mean we were pretty good with the running backs last year, for the most part. I'm saying, but if they got Jashawn Corbin on the practice squad, if somebody didn't come in there and if he was that really that good, so you got to start looking, and it's also you got to figure Brightwell is not a Shane or Dable guy. He's good on special teams. Okay, I don't know if they're going to want to keep trying to bring Breida back, right? But then you got to start looking. Okay, if Saquon is kind of playing hardball here now, I mean, so you also don't know. We don't know. He's playing hardball and all, but you don't have a crystal ball, right? We can't look into the crystal ball. All right, yeah, okay. August. I'm looking at training camp, August 22nd on the field there. Who do I got? Who I got there? I see Daniel Jones handing off to that's Saquon. All right, okay. All right. Okay. Whew. Just got a little word there. Thank God I had my crystal ball out. So August 22nd, I know, because I just seen in my crystal ball, Daniel Jones was turning around training camp in practice, handing the ball off to Saquon. He was running up the middle. He looked good. Had his pads on and all. Wasn't holding it. Okay, so we know we got Saquon. You don't know that. You have no idea. No idea. I would be rather shocked if he didn't wind up playing this year. Really, really would be rather shocked if he didn't want to play this year. But you don't know. Okay. So the thing is, you got the draft right before and he's not signing the franchise tag because he won't be at the team. It's the 17th. So what is it? Monday. Today's the 14th, and Monday. So they got got guys coming in, right, for a little OTAs, right, on April. But Saquon won't be there because he's not signed. He's not, even if he wants to, he can't because he's hasn't signed the contract. Okay, I'm saying, but you don't know what's going on later on. So all the Giants know, okay, is that as of right now, we only got 3 running backs. Okay, until Saquon signs on the dotted line, right? We only got the 3. So we got the draft coming up, right? It would behoove the Giants to, in a deep running back class, take themselves a running back. Now, also, if we look, all right, now let's say, I mean, I mean, I'm not telling Shane or Dale. I ain't telling these guys absolutely nothing, of course. But Saquon, he's played 5 years. Okay. Obviously with the running backs, they start at a certain age, they start going downhill and this, that, and the other thing and all. So Saquon will be 26 this year coming up. Okay. He's played 5 seasons. So if he does play this season, all right, this will be his 6th season. All right. I mean, if they don't work out some type of a contract, right? Are the Giants going to want to try to sign a long-term contract with Saquon? I mean, after this, if he's going into his 7th season in the NFL now, he's had, in the regular season, he's had 954 carries. Receptions. Wow, 247 receptions. So basically, he's had about 1,200 touches between receptions, okay, and rushes. All right, he's had a lot of targets, a ton of targets, okay, but just touches, okay, between rushes and receptions, he's had about 1,200 already in his career. Let's just say this year, I mean, what did he have last year? 295 rushes, 50. So he had over 350 touches last year, okay, between receptions and rushes. Now, so he's up to 1,200. So say if he plays and he stays healthy this year and all and everything, regardless if he signs a tag or not or whatever, right? Or if they sign him to a long-term contract, if he winds up playing this year for the Giants, okay, if he winds up playing in 16 or 17 games, right, just say he gets another 300 touches, say he gets 250 carries, all right, and he gets 50 receptions, so that's another 300. So that's going to give him, after 6 seasons, that's going to give him 1,500. That's not including like whatever he did in high school, college, okay. It's going to give him 1,500 touches. It's a lot of touches. Okay. I mean, that's another 300 touches added on to what he's already done. Okay. Are the Giants going to want to go, after this season and offer him up like a 4-year deal for like maybe whatever, $50 million or so? More shredders coming off those tires. Okay. He'll be 20. They're going to go 27. So they sign him to like a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal after going in 2024. By the time the deal's up, it'll be a 30, 31. Are the Giants going to wind up doing that? I don't know. I mean, I really would have thought it would have. He should have signed the deal at the Giants, but he's just playing. He's just playing hardball. Okay, but I mean, regardless, if he signs a tag or if they sign him to a contract or what, I mean, after this season, right, he'll be up to maybe, as long as he stays healthy, about 1,500 touches. And he would probably have, I mean, if he would have, right, 200, 300, close. I mean, if he stayed healthy, okay, and all those seasons, all right, and including this season coming up, he would probably have close to about 2,000 touches if he was able to stay healthy. All right, if you include this season coming up, 2023, and the first 5 seasons, right, he'd have close to 2,000 touches between rushes and receptions. That's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so you can see that So let's hope for his sake and for the Giants that we all come to some type of agreement or whatever, and he winds up signing some type of contract or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I hear, the Giants don't have any, as of right now, don't have any plans on signing him long term. So, and let's not forget, all right, if he just signs the franchise tag this year and he doesn't want to, with he's guaranteed $10 million. Okay. All right. But let's look next year. Okay, what are the Giants going to do with the franchise tag next year? Are they going to want to try to put a franchise tag so they can keep it their going into it would be a 7th season running back? Whew. Just suppose they can't get something done with Sexy Dexy, right? Right? They have his 5th-year option. They picked up, okay, and all, but they want to have some type of long-term contract on with him. Who's more important, keeping Sexy Dexy around or keeping Saquon Barkley around? Right? They might need the franchise tag for Sexy Dexy. Then let's also not forget. I mean, if Xavier McKinney wants to play hardball or something like that, right? Who's more important, right? Do they want to keep Xavier McKinney around, or they want to keep Saquon Barkley around, who's going to be on the decline? Now, Saquon means a lot to the organization, a lot to the locker room, to the fans, to this, to that, all of that stuff. I get it, but 6th or 7th, I mean, he's going to start declining. Do they? The Giants want to keep putting a franchise tag on him to keep him around? Or, I mean, they might want to try to keep their safety if they're having a problem keeping their safety. So this year, this year, the franchise tag came down to 2 guys for the most part. It was Daniel Jones. If they couldn't get a deal done with Daniel Jones, they were franchise tagging him. Okay, without question. Okay. Then they were going to have to try to work something out with Saquon. All right. But that didn't happen. The other thing that was going to happen was if we can get a deal done with Daniel Jones, then we're going to franchise tag Saquon. That's what happened. Okay, so that's why Saquon got franchise tag. But I said, if he signs the franchise tag this year, plays his 6th season with it, then he's going 2024 will be going into his 7th season, right? In the NFL, are the Giants going to want to try to franchise tag a running back who's played 6 seasons going into his 7th season? I mean, they have other obligations, younger guys that they might want to try to keep around, like I said, saying maybe Xavier McKinney and possibly Sexy Dexy if they can't get something worked out. So the franchise tag may not be around, okay, for them to use on Saquon next season. Then also, all right, if Saquon's like playing hardball and trying this, he's adding another year, okay, onto his career after this season, obviously. Is he going to be worth more next year after he's had another 200-300 touches, or is he going to be worth less next year? I think he's going to be worth less. As years go by, he's going to start getting worth less and less. And the way the running back market's been this year, I mean, you got like Sanders signed with the Panthers for like $6 or $7 million. I mean, a lot of guys are getting franchise tagged, like for $10 million. I mean, that running back market is really it's taking a hit. Not mention that also it's a very, very good running back class. Okay, so it would really, really behoove Saquon. I mean, he can put his foot down and hold his breath, and I'm not signing nothing until you give me 15. Well, I mean, that may not happen. I mean, he might be cutting his nose off to spite his face, right? So let's hope that he can come up with something, right? Or, they can come up with some kind of, happy agreement, because the longer this goes out, the more Saquon goes without signing a long-term contract, the more I feel he's kind of screwing himself. But it would shock me, even if Robinson was there, even if Saquon didn't sign the tag and Robinson was there, the running back, right, in the first round, I can't see the Giants taking it. The Giants have too many other holes, okay, that to fill. I mean, I would be very, very shocked. I would be very shocked if the Giants took somebody in day 1 or day 2 as far as a running back. I'd be rather shocked, because we have other, responsibilities. But I can certainly see in day 3, okay, 4th round on back, picks like basically 100 to whatever. Now, there's an article here I saw from Big Blue View. I mean, they got, I'm not sure where they got but I mean, guys, they got, let me see, how many running backs they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. They got 17 running backs, basically from the fourth round to the 7th round. 17. Basically, that's what we got, like 4 per round. Okay. So, I mean, basically, they got enough for basically 1 out of every 8 picks could be a running back. They have some really good, solid running backs here. Now, the problem is that, you know, what Saquon can do, all right, he's going to be able to do better than a lot of these running backs, you know. But I mean, you know, if you got these running backs and you tandem up with somebody with another good running back, you know, you might be able to, you know, replace the Saquon if you want to do running back by committee. Now, let's not forget, I mean, the Giants were to get a couple of young running backs on the cheap, okay, between the two, they have a lot more tread on the tire, a lot younger, okay, and they would be able to replace, you know, maybe somewhat of what Saquon can do, and it would be a lot cheaper, okay. Yeah, as I said, I mean, in this article, there's Big Blue making the case running backs the Giants could draft on day 3. Says Saquon unresolved long-term contract situation means that the Giants have to prepare for the possibility that Barkley will be gone in 2024, which is possible. That's possible, right? Even if he's status for 2023 is uncertain, given reports that he will not sign a franchise tag before OTAs. Nick Filato has written about possible day 2 options for the Giants to select a running back in this year's draft. I would be shocked. And the Giants addressed other positions in the first 3 rounds of the draft, though. Running back may have to wait until day 3. Then it says, who might be available then? Running back is a devalued position in the NFL because of the emergence of the passing game in the past 10 to 15 years. Also, not so much that, but also a lot of teams are more like running back by committee, right? But what you don't want is when you get what the Giants used to do when they had thunder and lightning, okay? Tiki Barber and Ron Dayne, okay? When you brought Tiki Barber in the game, you're like, oh, shit, Tiki Barber's in the game. Good player. Jeez, that could be a pass. That could be a run. Oh, man, we better stay on our P's and Q's, right? When Tiki Barber needed a blow, all right, and they brought Ron Dayne in, it's like, oh, here comes Ron Dayne. Probably run play. Or, okay, if it's a pass play, we don't have to worry about Ron Dayne, right? Because he really wasn't much in the pass game. When Tiki was there, it's like it could be either a run, it could be a pass. And if it was a pass, okay, if it was a run, you had to worry about Tiki. If it was a pass, you had to worry about Tiki because Tiki was fantastic. Tiki out of the backfield was fantastic. Ron Dayne, if it was a pass, it's like, cool. All right. Okay, you throw the ball to Ron. We don't care, right? But, I mean, a lot of times when Ron Dayne came in, it's going to be run play to Ron Dayne. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what you can't do, right? You got to have it where the guy goes in the game. It's like, oh, geez, he's the running back's in the game. It could be a run, could be a pass. We don't know, right? So you got to have that flexibility, okay? You can't have that Ron Dayne element to it. It's just like I liked seeing him on the field, but it was just like, yep, it's going to be a run. You know, it just felt like it was going to be a run. Or if it was going to be a pass, Ron Dayne might be staying in the block. Okay. Let's see. Fueled by rule changes that protect quarterbacks and receivers and innovate offensive concepts by the NFL best. So what the NFL wants is scoring. They want first downs. They want bam, bam. They want excitement, right? So you can't touch the quarterback. You can't even look at the wide receivers, right? They call the cornerbacks like going around this. You got to count to 5 Mississippi. Then you can open your eyes up and you can cover the wide receiver. They don't want any incomplete passes. All they want is just, don't touch the quarterback, right? If you touch the quarterback, that's 15 yards, right? Roughing the passer. Defensive player touch the quarterback. They don't want nothing. So it's all going toward, we want scoring, right? But as we noted in previous, our balance is starting to shift back a little toward the running game. Well, in one respect, because a lot of teams are starting to prepare, maybe get lighter guys in there, as far as to try to cover, put not even maybe like a lot of guys in it, but, putting whatever, 5 corner or 6 defensive backs on the field. So it makes it where it's a little bit easier to run, right? So this may be a reaction to the 2 high safety defenses that are spreading across the league and discourage explosive passing plays. Opposing offenses are increasingly being presented with light boxes, right? Light boxes makes you run the ball, right? All you got to do is call Omaha, right? You're changing the play at the line of scrimmage to a run, right? So running back should not be an afterthought for the Giants. It shouldn't be an afterthought for any team, but ideally the Giants and Barkley would work out a deal that would keep him here for the next 3 seasons. Absolutely. People underestimate how valuable Barkley is to the Giants. Absolutely. As both an explosive playmaker, he was second in the NFL among running backs in 2022 and a back who can get tough yards inside. He's an asset as a pass catcher. And in 2022, he even improved as a pass protector, which was one of his faults, right, early on in his career, pass blocking. It will be difficult to replace all of those guys on a day 3 pick. So, that's one thing you're going to have to, tough to get all of that, right, in one of these day 3 picks. It says, but what should the Giants be looking for? Here are the 2023 running back prospects who may be available on day 3, so rounds 4 through 7, from the NFL mock draft database consensus big board, whatever that is. There's a guy from Auburn, Bigsby, Johnson from Texas, who's supposed to be really, really good as well, too. Those guys, they have them basically. Then they got the McBride, all right, from UAB. Evans from Mississippi, Miller from TCU. Those 5 guys look like round 4 guys, right? And you got Brown from Illinois, McIntosh from Georgia, Vaughn from K-State, Tucker from Syracuse, and Mitchell from East Carolina. They look like maybe round 5 guys. Gray, a Bonaconda, a Bonnie Conda, I believe it is. Israel Ibanaconda from Pittsburgh. Thomas from Utah. All right. They look like possible round 6 guys. And Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota, round 6. Then they got some round 7 guys. Rodriguez from Kentucky. Hull from Northwestern. And Hunter from North Dakota State. Luque from North Dakota State. Look like they could be round 7 guys. All right. The list, okay, excludes Robinson, Gibbs, Charbonnet, Oshane, and Spears, okay, because they all look like round 1 or 2, day 1 or 2 guys, okay. It says, unlike quarterbacks, NFL-worthy running backs are plentiful, especially in this year's draft. Plentiful, all right. We're looking for a potential 2024 replacement for Barkley, a bell cow who plays all 3 downs and can take on workload, but is also capable of explosive plays. Things being easier if Barkley is back and forms a 1-2 punch with the back in the draft. Absolutely. Much like Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard did, right? Giants still have Matt Breida and Brightwell. Okay, but I don't know how much longer they're going to try to keep Brightwell around. Breida's nice, but obviously he's getting up there in years as well too. Get a couple nice get a running back this year, maybe grab another running back next year, right? So there's also undrafted free agent running backs as well too, right? Saquon, has had a lot of touches. Okay, so there's the early day 3 candidates. Okay. Let's see. With such a deep running back class and 7 picks on day 3. Okay, so we got a 4th, right? We got 2 5ths, we got a 6th, and we got 3 7s. So that's just 7. That's the 7 picks we have. So we're gonna have a lot. We're gonna be busy. Okay, on where are we at? What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got picks 160, 172. Oh, hold on. 128, 160, 172, 209, 240, 243, and 254. Okay, so That's our day 3. All right, so we got a lot, without question, we got 7 picks on day 3. Without question, we can take a running back. All right. Let's see. If the Giants really want to make a move in round 4, the player I would bang, that's according to this article here, I would tell you is Zach Evans from Mississippi. All right. I mean, there's a lot of good guys here. Evans, after 2 years, transferred to Ole Miss after 2 years at TCU, but he averaged 6.5 yards a carry, right? For comparison, Barkley averaged 5.9 yards a carry in his final season at Penn State, right? Evans has the footwork to turn upfield quickly and use outside runs, the acceleration to break through holes and reach the second level quickly. Excellent speed and outrun linebackers and defensive backs once he does. Great contact balance to keep plays going and the power to get tough yards after the first contact before going down. I mean, very, very good, solid runner. Kendra Miller, Evans from TCU would be another excellent choice in the 4th round, having averaged 6.2 yards per carry with 17 touchdowns. Miller and Evans are very similar running backs, right? Miller is a little bit bigger at 215. Evans turns the corner better. Miller explodes through the hole better, right? So, I mean, sometimes you're also going to have to start kind of getting like, your flavor of ice cream. You know what I mean? You want the guy that is north and south between the tackles. You want to get somebody who's a little bit better outside the edge, right? Now, you also have to keep in mind, too, okay? Like I say here, right? Now, also, they have to keep in mind what kind of scheme they're running compared to like what kind of maybe scheme these players ran in college. Now, the strength is to gain your inside behind a gap power blocking scheme to attack those labor. Barkley was used more with zone blocking in his first 2 seasons with Shermer. Zone blocking scheme, okay? But in 2022, they ran more behind a gap power blocking, according to Pro Football Focus, okay? So, if you can marry the two, find a guy, possibly who's coming out of college who maybe ran well in a gap power blocking scheme, okay? Because that's what the Giants ran a lot last year, okay? You don't want to put a square peg into a round hole. You want to try to, obviously marry the two of them up, all right? But, I mean, there's a ton of good guys. Beyond these 2 backs, there are other good possibilities who should be available in late rounds, including Sean Tucker of Syracuse, who could possibly be maybe a 5th round. Eric Gray of Oklahoma. I've heard some good things about him. They got him ranked number 148, so that would be like a 5th round pick. Abani Konda from Pittsburgh. He's like a 5th round pick too from Pittsburgh. And they also have other, in this article, other hidden gems. The big board shows only running back prospects that rank within the top 259, the total number of picks in this year's draft. Here's the rest of the consensus board. So they have other guys after pick number 259. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They got like another 14 picks who could be undrafted free agent running backs, right? That the Giants can bring into camp. I mean, obviously not all of them, but I mean, maybe bring one of them in. I mean, there's a guy, Prince from Tulsa, Evans from Louisville, Dye from USC, Peoples from Appalachian State, Thompson from Texas Tech, Valladay from Arizona State, Nichols III from Central Michigan, Mims from Fresno State, Shivers from Indiana, Broussard from Michigan State, Brooks from BYU, DeMercado from TCU, Laybourne from Marshall, and Smith from UTSA, right? I mean, there's a ton of guys. I mean, these are all guys that I'm saying that may not even want to get drafted. So the Giants could draft. The Giants could, if they wanted to, they could double dip. I mean, they could draft somebody and then bring an undrafted free agent in as well, too, right? Or if they were going to, I mean, they can draft somebody this year, and obviously, if they don't think maybe Saquon's in the long future for them, they can maybe try to, sign another running back next year, in the draft as well too. So, the Giants got plenty of options. The problem is, everybody's got to remember it's a business, right? Once the sign, once the pen goes to paper and they sign it, and then they can hug and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and all that stuff and everything. But until then, it's a business. My thing is, it's kind of like, what's it going to do to the locker room, right? Especially if the players think that maybe the Giants are kind of like dissing, you pay Daniel Jones, how come you're not paying Saquon? What's going on? You know what I mean? Or they took the deal off the table, right? Because they had a deal. They had a deal. It was about $12.5 million last season. Saquon turned it down. Then they upped it a little bit more. They bought, I guess it was maybe close to the $13 million or so. He still said no. As I said, I don't know if he's just all trying to play hardball here or not. But once they slid the franchise tag in front of him, they took those two deals or one deal, whatever it was. It's not there no more. So as of right now, it's signed a franchise tag or nothing. And when I saw, there was an article I saw, is that the Giant. As of right now is all I'm saying. Oh yeah, as of right now, an article I saw, the Giants don't have any plans on. As of right now, okay, signing into any long-term contract. So I don't know. Looks like they're holding pat, holding put, as far as trying to sign him or give him a big contract or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. What Saquon winds up doing. I would be rather shocked if they if he holds out all season. Because if he doesn't play, that's another year older he's gotten. If he thinks he's going to get older and he's going to start making more and more money as a running back, he's sadly mistaken. So I just hope that they somewhere along the line they can work something out and bring him back, because he is a huge asset. But as I said, once again, it's a business, and Shane and all, they got a number figured out. And that's the line in the sand, and apparently they're not going to go past that. So I said, hopefully they can work it out. But you're not going to replace. If somehow they, if they were to take, if Robinson fell to him, I've seen a lot of guys don't even think Robinson's going to get to the Giants at 25. But if somehow, if Robinson was, he's good. He's really, he's good. He's going to be better than any wide receiver that's going to come to us. He's probably better, all than any cornerback that's going to get to the Giants, right? It's just the positional value. If the Giants want to keep Saquon around, they're not going to take. I'd have a hard time seeing them bring Robinson in. But if they were to somehow wind up somehow drafting Robinson, you just signaled the end of Saquon. Now, it also would kind of send some shockwaves through the world. The NFL football world. If the Giants signed Robinson, just a scenario here, that's all, and then traded Saquon. Because they're out there, they're talking to the GMs, right? Shane was talking to the GM of who he has some kind of familiarity with the Raiders, right? You got anybody going on? Yeah. We might want to maybe try to move on. Oh, yeah, you want to move on? So I'm sure they're probably doing the same kind of thing. What's going on with Saquon? You got anything you want to do with Saquon? Right? So, as I said, once again, it's a business, right? Shane hasn't really shocked the world yet as far as getting rid of a player, this or that or something like that, but it just might happen, right? And that would be, if they were to draft, right, Robinson, and then maybe pick up a third rounder, maybe for Saquon. I can see maybe a third rounder. He's, if it was a first or second year play, I could see getting something higher, but I can maybe a third rounder for him. He's a good solid running back. I can see maybe a third. Like what the Giants got with Waller, right? yeah, I can see that. Third round. I mean, right? That way you get your running back. He'll be cheap. You'll have him for 5 years. You don't have to worry about Saquon no more, right? Which is not so much a good thing, but you can get rid of Saquon, right? You trade him, you get a third round pick for him instead. So now you have your running back. Okay. You got Corbin, you got Brightwell, you got Breida still, right? And I said maybe you picked up a third round pick, right? So now you got a second, and you have still now you got another 2/3. So now with all your draft picks, you got yourself the running back for 5 years at least, right? You got yourself you got another tight end, and you still got a second, and you still got 2/3, right? So with the second and 2/3, you can still grab yourself a nice cornerback, and you still grab yourself a nice center if you wanted to, and you can grab somebody. You could probably even grab yourself a nice wide receiver. So I mean, if somehow we could parlay Robinson, if he would have fell to the Giants at 25, parlay Robinson at 25, trade Saquon, get a third, right? So that you parlay, you get all your draft picks. You would get Waller for a third, right? You would have Robinson. You trade Saquon away, so you would have still a second and 2 more thirds, right? So that's a good way to fill up your roster, right? I mean, Saquon's not going to be with the Giants forever, right? And I mean, obviously, you wish him well. I hope the Giants sign him, but I mean, if things start falling apart, there are other options. And as I said, as beautiful a sport it is, it's underneath, it's still a business. And as I said, until pen goes to paper, it's a business. So, well, guys, it's been 41 minutes to shoot my mouth off. Anybody spent any time at all listening to me, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or if anybody spends any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there, and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.